I had a dream about this live stream last night. Hopefully it doesn't go exactly the same as the dream. So, what happened was I was just getting everything queued up. I was typing in the title of the... Hello? Can I... Wait.
Hello there.
Test 1? Test 2? No, it's going through to... No, it's going through. Okay. Audio's working. It stopped for a second on my end. It's fine. So, dream I had about this live stream. I was typing in the name of the episode up on the, in the screen. And there's just, all of a sudden there was an earthquake. And so instead of typing in Unification 3, I started typing in Earthquake IRL BRB. And then I got as far as Earthquake IRL, and then it just turned into gibberish because, there was an earthquake. So hopefully that doesn't happen. That has happened before. That has happened once before, where there was a quake midstream. It was a small one.
Okay, Discord, just choosing a random output. Anyway.
It does what it does. So hopefully there's no earthquakes here. I do live in an earthquake zone. They're very common.
Another storm headed for Florida as well, it seems, or something like that.
Yeah, Florida's not doing so hot. There are 2 storms they got now.
Yep.
They got hit by the one, and it devastated a large chunk of the state, and then right immediately after there's a second hurricane. Cool. But don't worry. It's not caused by climate change. Yeah, they made it illegal for it to be caused by climate change. Literally.
Yes, definitely no correlation there at all. No causation either. Just definitely 2 storms in a row that has not happened for yonks.
The state legislature said so. I trust them.
It is ridiculous that the state which is the most at risk to all of those things is the most climate denying state in the US.
I know I spend pretty much my whole life indoors, but have you looked outside? It looks changed to me.
Yeah.
God, we're so screwed.
Yes.
Fortunately, in my area, I don't have to worry about hurricanes. They don't exist here.
Fortunately, I currently live in a fairly hilly place of the UK, so I'm okay. I do just worry about everyone else, including especially those on the coast.
It'll be fine. Probably.
And also, my house specifically is on an uphill driveway as opposed to others on the downhill driveway.
That's nice.
Oh.
I was.
I live in a high rise, so I'm good.
Hopefully the foundations are sturdy.
Well, you don't really get much in the way of things that could disturb foundations in the UK, other than if it was to get very, very muddy, very wet. It could get wet enough that the clay could move, is possible.
After I woke up this morning from my earthquake dream, I immediately started looking up tsunami evacuation maps for my area. I was like, maybe this is something I should know. I know the general idea. You either go east, further inland, or head to a big hill. I got that part. I know that.
Yeah.
But where's the best place to run from where I am?
Yeah.
I think south onto a hill is my best bet. East, there's the main road east. You have to drive literally. The highway is adjacent to the ocean. It's I don't think I should go that way on the...
Yeah.
In a tsunami.
I've seen what the storm did to the Floridian roads. Gee, they're just not there anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, Star Trek. We're watching Unification 3.
Yes.
Not Part 3, just 3.
Yes.
It's about the Vulcans
really
and the Romulans. But Vulcans and Romulans don't exist anymore. They're Navarans. And press play.
I think they still refer to them as Vulcans and Romulans.
3,
and the other There are a few Romulan Vulcans around.
They sort of do and sort of don't. Most of it is... Well, actually, yeah, they do refer to specific people a bit as Vulcans and Romulans.
Yeah. I mean, and they do definitely complain about Vulcans specifically. One of the Romulans does.
Yes.
The Vulcans.
In a great line.
Yeah, they haven't really intermingled enough to become one as a culture entirely yet.
Exactly, yeah. Which is very natural, right? That's
Yeah.
These things don't happen all at once.
It's only if I remember, it was only just after the burn or just before the burn that they actually reunited.
I don't remember.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yep.
Yes.
After this rather long last time segment.
Yep. Why has this become a thing that every single episode needs a previously on? Especially when you release episodes on the same day.
I don't know, man.
Like, after Through All Alone, they released the first 2 episodes at the same time, and the second episode had a recap of the first episode that you've literally just watched.
Well, what if you watch the first episode and suddenly there's a major earthquake and a tsunami and you're not able to watch the next one for like 2 months?
Then you're capable of rewatching the first.
Ridiculous. Okay, it took 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Wow, that is a long recap.
She got demoted again.
Yep.
Actually, did she get demoted? Like, was her rank reduced? She got reassigned.
Well, she's
I don't
never
know, man.
officially been anything higher than commander, so not technically, but her position has been demoted.
Yeah. She's definitely been assigned to something less prestigious.
Though that is actually interesting. Burnham completely skips the range of lieutenant commander.
Oh, because, well, I mean, presumably she was lieutenant commander before she was commander the first time.
Possibly. I don't remember what she was on the Shenzhou.
Do we even know how long she was on the Shenzhou? Presumably a while, but...
Felt like a while, yeah.
It's not shown canonically in the show itself how long that period was. It's hinted that it was at least a few months, probably a few years.
Also,
It felt
I
like,
like
yeah,
that Book appreciates
yeah.
interior design. He spent a lot of effort decking this place out. Fancy.
Yeah.
I guess not much else to do on interstellar trips. I mean, you're just waiting to get there.
Yep.
True.
Yeah,
think he
it
has a
feels like
holiday.
she was on the Shenzhou for years.
Yeah, just like she knew the captain that well, right? It didn't feel like they were.
And
just
also we
assigned.
see a distinct change in her character from when we're shown her arriving on the Shenzhou compared to the timeline of the show.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
She distinctly did not want to be there when she arrived on the ship.
What was the best like morning after in bed scene in Star Trek? I
Q
say
and
it's
Picard.
Q and Picard.
Yeah,
Yep.
God.
Also, I think that might be the only
that's
other
not a
one.
question. Like,
No, there's several others with Q. Q and Janeway, maybe was there one?
that was like a very cute thing to do.
Well, Janeway
I mean, he is a Greek
became
god. He's
mother.
basically Zeus, so yeah.
Q trying to make her a surrogate mother to his son, so
Right.
or adoptive mother, rather.
You'll figure it out, Michael. You're good.
Yep. So was Silly at the end of this season.
bit of a role reversal. Michael's saying, I don't know that I fit anymore. Tilly's like, yeah, we totally do. And no, by the end, Tilly's out of here. Michael's the one hanging around.
Yep. That's considerably faster than even subspace, though.
Well, no, Tilly, with you have 3 points, that defines a 3-dimensional space.
They're saying that it's a 3 points on essentially a 2D plane.
Cool.
Yeah, that it should just pinpoint it in 3D space. But also, the galactic plane is essentially flat. So you're not having to search too much of a up and down in order to see what was there.
I guess you're also working with such small variances in time over such large distances that, like,
True.
based on the accuracy of your data, there's going to be a big range of space it could be in.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know how nobody thought of this before.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah. Of triangulating it. Yeah.
to an extent, they have
Also-
like,
also-
bigger concerns, but yeah.
All things flies in the face of general relativity, but
It traveled through the subspace mycelium.
or
Domain.
something. Yeah.
It's considerably faster than subspace, but yeah, there must be some subspace element
It's
to it.
suberspace.
Sometimes you gotta get lower than subspace.
Here we go.
I'd love to see a return of those aliens that cut off Riker's arm and reattached it, and then replace that one guy's blood with polymer, right? What were
and
they even
Pike
trying to do?
knows before Kirk
Okay,
does
it
that
took
they are the two
centuries.
same species.
God, nobody's
So-
left. Did we lose every single founding member?
Basically.
Yeah.
What?
Because the Antorians are in the Emerald Chain.
The Tellarites, who cares? And Earth is gone.
The Tellarites are still in the Federation, or at least there are Tellarite ambassadors and things, I think. that we see
How
this
how
season.
long ago was the burn? Was this before
It was
or after
100
the
years
burn?
ago. So Nifar left the Federation after the burn. So it's
After the burn. Okay.
definitely
Like right after.
definitely united before then.
Okay. So they haven't established that yet, but I okay.
They just said that they left almost 100
He
years
said
ago.
right. They didn't say exactly that it was after the burn, but I think that probably becomes clear.
Yeah, this burn is it's about 100 years ago, slightly over, I think.
It was probably the Romulans that advocated to leave. Typical Romulans. Should have just left
The
them on
treacherous
Romulus.
nature. Yeah, in Discovery, is Romulus destroyed? Like, was that
Yes.
already canon?
The Kelvin timeline, what happens in the normal timeline, is canon to the Prime timeline.
Although, yeah, I think this is the first time that becomes apparent.
Yes. Romulans wanted to stay.
Oh, I was going to say it does feel like a very Vulcan thing, also to like, no, logic dictates we must fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey,
They made Gateway.
yeah.
anybody here playing
Sick.
Space Marine 2?
No, not a moment. But Nivar was definitely around before the burn. Was called Nivar before the burn because they think that this caused the burn.
Mm.
I mean, but gateways are legit though. The Iconians made them. Why not the Romulans?
Because the Romulans are not as smart as the Iconians.
Well, if the Iconians are so smart, why are they dead?
Yes.
Um, who knows?
Well, I think Picard.
Yes.
I think
You
we
don't
established
see
that in
Saru's
season 1
girlfriend.
actually, because it was a rebellion. The Iconians did the thing from like the Infinite Empire and KOTOR, where they were massive slaver empire, and then everybody just got sick of them.
Did we play through what was that
I
Star
think
Trek game where they had the Resurgence? Star Trek
this
Resurgence?
is.
Uh,
I like Vance here. Vance is like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. This
we
is
didn't
this
play
is
through
what
it
we're
as like a
doing.
group, but I
don't care.
played
We
it myself.
demoted her.
Yeah.
And this is a time where it does make sense that Burnham is there because
Does Vance
she
know
is
her mom is
the
there?
one-pointed connection to them. I don't know. Probably not. No, he probably doesn't because that would also be classified that she's in the future. Unless it's been, well, it would be opened, I suppose. But it'd still be a bit of a guess. Here we go.
Hi, Leonard.
Hey. Where'd those cheekbones come from?
I was gonna say it's like, oh, now I need to go back and find what scene that still shot is from, but no, it's from this scene. Now it's not a challenge. This is the very ending scene of Unification Part 2, right before Picard leaves Romulus.
Yep.
Picard's like, no, you gotta come with us. We gotta get out of it. We gotta go back to the Federation. Spock's like, no, man, I'm gonna hang out.
The way it just brings up a standard media control panel.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It should bring up Windows XP, Windows Media Player.
Yeah.
Unrelated
great,
question: Is
apart from a
Agent
moment in
Daniels
season 5.
retired from his space copying, or does he just like hang out? What's his job? Is he a freelance time cop now?
Internal affairs or something like that.
Internal Affairs.
Yeah, this still doesn't make sense to me. Literally an ensign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is she? Tom Paris.
Yeah, this is just silly. I mean, I like Tilly, but
I mean,
mean,
to an
yeah, exactly.
extent, who else would be good in
Hey,
the
you know
crew?
what? Nothing like
I mean,
a trial by fire.
That's a better question.
I think this
That's-
trial by
yeah,
fire is
that's, I think-
why Tilly leaves.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, nope, this is too much. I'm out of here.
Yes, of course it would be too much. That's what
Gotta-
like command training
mean-
program is for.
There is
Gotta
definitely
build
one
up
other
to it.
person on the crew
Oh, I
who
love
is
this
shown
line.
later on to be
I
good.
love that line. That is such a good question. such a good question. Like, nobody ever asked that question in these situations.
What's the question again,
Are
sorry?
you are you doing this because I'm capable or because I'm compliant? Like, are you doing this because you know I'm loyal to you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
But
they
no,
ever really
yeah.
dig into that much more, but it's a great little moment of. It's a good question. Like,
Yeah.
and people don't ever ask it.
Did you ever ask that if you were offered a promotion?
No, but if I were offered something a person I'm wildly underqualified for, then
Yeah.
it might come to mind. I don't know if I would ask it, but maybe I should.
I mean, there is another person that would be qualified, possibly. We see him in season 5 being qualified for it, which is Jen Reese. We don't see too much of him or focus on him too much until season 5, really. Hey, it's your girlfriend, sir.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, they got the president immediately. She wasn't in a meeting. She wasn't in the bathroom. She just. I'm surprised they're open with this so much.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they were already told. Okay, no, it's cool.
Yes.
To be more
Yeah,
specific.
wait, how did they get in touch with Navarre? I guess there are relays of some sort that allow for communication.
Yeah. Also, is that a
But the,
Romulan bird crest on her jacket?
might be.
I mean, it's a good-looking bird. Fair enough.
Request denied.
Also, are we gonna start rebuilding the gateways now? Because that was a good plan. We should get back to that
Yeah,
once we figure out that it was
it never comes
unrelated.
up.
You would think after a century and a half, right? They'd be like, But I guess they're too busy, like, they're fractured, right? Like, I mean, without the Vulcans doing the science part for them.
Well, the gateways specifically, they're not making them because they think the gateways caused the burn. But in this episode, we're going to prove that they didn't, so they should start building them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I like this ritual because,
Hello?
hey, this ritual of we're going to have a scientific inquiry.
I was gonna say, I invoke the spell of thesis defense.
Of hypothesis and
I invoked the I wish to appeal to the peer review board.
the process of peer review.
It's just a scientific rap battle. Come on.
That's true, though. There is philosophy involved.
Well, science
Jesus,
originates from
Aristotle.
philosophy.
That is that is a correct point, but I don't think most people would try to confuse the two today. But you are correct.
Absolutely not. They're completely different today. But the idea of the science and the foundation of it does come from philosophy.
100%, 100%. And in fact, so Socrates and his teacher Anaxagoras, before that philosophy was discovered, was like, okay, well, what do we think the sun is made of? It's either light elements or heavy elements or whatever, and it's all speculation. We think it's a ball of fire in the sky. But Socrates is like, no, it should be about moral and ethical intuitions. But in other words, like, natural science was a part of philosophy. I really like TNG for showing that episode where Data, he loses memory because he's a radioactive. He throws the radioactive thing in the well by accident. But people there still think like the Greek humors, which is earth, air, water, and fire. The four elements.
The Kawat Malat are an ancient Romulan sect from Star Trek Picard.
Picard, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is a nice tie-in to that show, though.
So, in further explanation of, had we already established that Romulus was destroyed? Yes, this came out after Picard.
I mean, I really do like how they went here because at the same time we see Spock's work in reunification, and at the same time we see, of course, it's not how we thought it was going to be. I know Ryan always discourages me from going here, but in World War Z, they show the zombie apocalypse causes the Israelis and Palestinians to resolve their conflict. It might be this.
A massive zombie apocalypse has the same power of an alien invasion, where everybody just goes, yeah, maybe we stop fighting each other.
Maybe those are petty differences compared to...
Maybe we kill all the zombies first, and then we go back to killing each other.
And
I can't believe the World War Z
that's
movie
what
is
the part
totally
where-
unrelated to the book. What a ripoff.
yeah.
Oh, really? I knew the book was like a bestseller.
The book is a series of interviews that I kind of want to call realistic, but I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse. It's
Right.
more grounded.
Right.
It's
like The Last of Us rather than I don't know.
Or it's almost like in the Walking Dead, right? They have that
Dawn of the Dead.
facility in Georgia, which is CDC. So obviously the government's going to be like very involved in coming up with a cure.
like one of the really good bits of the book is the Battle of Yonkers, New York, which was the military got absolutely wrecked because all the soldiers were trying to aim center mass, which doesn't do anything to zombies.
It's got to be a headshot.
It's like, oh yeah, our bombs and our landmines, they blew off all the zombies' legs, and they're still crawling toward us because they're zombies.
Just need bigger bombs, turn them to paste. Zombies can't attack you if they're paste.
But
We
they
have
didn't
some...
bigger bombs at the battle because it was supposed to be a propaganda victory, and they wanted to show like waves of zombies falling over.
We have some hot and heavy romance going on screen.
How about a flamethrower?
These two are going to marry each other because they're
Flamethrower
just
will work
so hot.
eventually.
So what you have for a while is just a flaming zombie, which is slightly more dangerous, but only for a very brief period.
I don't want to call this old people romance, but I think she is like 200. So
Man, look at
This
that
might
age
appeal-
gap.
this
Hey,
might appeal
She's
hey.
basically a predator.
this might appeal to a CBS audience, you know?
I bet. Well, okay, I'm not gonna make it weird.
No, like sometimes they'll have a teenage vibe to the show. Like that's what Wesley was, and that's what what's this 16-year-old we adopted?
I mean,
It's kind of a kid's show
there is a young adult novel feel to the whole thing.
component to it, yeah.
Michael's not like other girls.
Like the music too. Like
This
I
is
remember when-
written.
I
It's
remember
written-
when Moon was with us, she would note that like Wesley has like a xylophone music going to him, so it's a little bit too kiddie.
You're saying this has like a 5th grade reading level, writing?
No, I'm saying
I wouldn't say
certain
that.
parts of the show are related
I
to.
would say a young adult
Like-
novel is sort of where it's pitched
Wait.
toward.
Is
Like,
her mom
Not for
now a
nothing.
member of the
Yes.
what's it?
The co-op.
Co-op
movement.
Quab a lot.
Yeah, Quat
Yes,
Malat. Thank you.
Quitsat Hatteract.
That's why she has
What's
that
that
big
headache?
churro across her back.
A churro.
I don't know what it is. It looks like a churro to me.
It's a sheath for a sword,
She's a Bene
right?
Gesserit.
There's a sword. Yeah, she does look like a Bene Gesserit. You're right.
But
I agree with you, Irreview, in this one thing.
well, I assume we agree about plenty of things. It's just we get a little animated sometimes.
This one specific thing, I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure I mean, two intelligent people, I feel like, agree more than they would disagree about the facts of reality. I like to think that. I really like to think that.
That's where we disagree.
I really like to think that. But actually, we're about to see, right? Because you put 3 Vulcans in a tribunal, 4 Vulcans, and let's see if Michael Burnham has a proper grasp on logic.
How many
I
Vulcans does it
appreciate
take to
that
screw
it's
a
not
Mom
man?
and
just about
Uncle sees the
logic.
Vulcans for what they are. They say they're big on logic, but they're not really.
Yeah,
They're just big on.
yeah, I love that line so much.
Pathos.
They're big on tradition.
She uses a lot of pathos to argue here. So the biggest blind spot is her mother, who betrays her.
How much does she know her mother? Like, she was raised by Vulcans.
Imagine
How old
you're-
was she?
She was raised by a mother until she looked like 12 or 13, 14,
Yeah,
somewhere around
then
there.
her parents were murdered in front of her.
Well,
And-
it turns out not really though.
Just one parent was murdered in front of her. These two are so steamy for each other. I don't know. I like it. I like it because you never have like side characters.
Tomalak got to see it. Reunification.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't allow characters to have arcs like this a lot of times, and Discovery does it well. These two like collaborate professionally before they marry each other, and it's kind of nice to see.
I mean, that's not that uncommon for a romance arc to start this way.
Can you believe that romance arcs always start with 2 people meeting each other?
I'm just saying,
But
like,
being opposed to each other in their professional capacities.
Saru has a face only
Yeah.
a mother could love, right? So
What are you? That's just mean.
it's nice
That's
to see him.
Not
specious.
against Saru.
That's specious.
It's
Next,
nice
you're gonna
to
start
see
making
him.
fun of his hooves.
So it's nice to see him wind up with like a cute person,
A conventionally attractive person.
cute old lady.
Maybe from Saru's perspective, she has a face only a mother could love. I'm sure he's very attractive by Kelpian
I'm
standards.
sure. Yeah. I do like. Look, we get new Vulcan lore because we knew about Ponfar, we knew about the what's the thing, Kolinar. We knew about the transfer ritual to transfer your Katra back into your. I like their outfits. They're like leather or velvet that's wrapped in black.
The Science Institute.
Yes.
Those are some very pointy ears.
Well, he's Vulcan and Romulan, I believe. These guys. Because only. Well, anyway.
That dude on the left looks somewhat familiar.
He's
Is it something
Romulan.
else?
The other two are Vulcan. That's such a Tal Shiar logo on their lapels.
Is it sensitive in nature? We're just asking for like locations and timestamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when did stuff blow up? That doesn't
This
seem
guy-
that crazy.
How do the Romulans feel about the AI on the Discovery?
I don't think we told them about that.
Romulo Vulcan.
That was a
Romulus.
weird pronunciation.
So, the word for China in Russian is Sino-Russian War, or Sino-Russian relations. So, it happens. The IR stands for International Relations, by the way, in my username.
I think we need to find a way to get China and Russia at each other's throats.
Uh,
Here,
this
here.
is such an arcane ritual. You know it's arcane from the torches. So your mother is the biggest backstabber in the world, Michael.
Oh no, she asked that question in order to make it clear, make Burnham make it clear what truth she wants, why she wants this information.
True.
Because if she had said, "I want the truth for the Federation," then that leads to some suspicion about why the Federation wants the truth.
That's true.
That's some good face acting, Paul.
Federation.
Saru, she's literally gonna. She said herself she's gonna be responsible for life and death decisions. You don't put a newbie in that position for training.
True.
Maybe you do it for fun.
I guess Starfleet's never been big on preservation of life. They're always trying wacky stuff.
I think there might have been a second part of that that would have been a little bit nicer to Tilly. Oh well.
Wait, her stick isn't a churro anymore. Now it's a smooth rod. What happened?
I think it's two rods on one side. It's kind of bound together.
Now it's a solid wood cylinder.
Except now it looks like two again.
Imagine you're in a trial and you're
wow.
And you're
I
like,
think they switched out the props at some point.
Your only parent brings up like the worst evidence against you.
Oh,
and,
wait a
like,
second.
I told you that in confidence.
The way it's blurred. Okay, I think the way the light plays on it changes the way whether it looks like two or not.
Can I point something out off topic that's really got me scratching my head?
I mean, we have
I
a
recently-
important ceremony to resume. So, but yes, go ahead.
I recently bought a new phone,
The Garmin.
an S24 Ultra,
Mhm,
and I'm wanting to transfer from my old Razer Phone 2 to the S24 Ultra.
mhm.
They have a smart switch utility, which is for transferring
Yes.
your data, your apps, and stuff. However, it does not appear that they have a compatible version for Android 9. So like it says there's no version of this app for your phone. So it's a little problematic. This is like the whole purpose is to transfer from an old phone to a new phone, and they're not supporting versions past a certain point, which is like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should buy
You
their
might need to do
products
it
on
to
a more
mid-
regular basis.
mid-grade range.
Yeah, like I mean, you know,
That's exactly
I
what
have
it
the
is,
20
Ryan,
and the
and
21. So you know, for me, upgrading to the 24 wouldn't be that big of a jump. And I learned
Yeah.
that like the latest update is bricking models that are like the S10 and stuff, and so they don't care about those models, frankly. And you're coming from Motorola, so they don't even care about you.
Who's out here
I'm not
picking
coming from
S10s?
Motorola.
You said
I'm coming
Razer,
from
right?
Razer.
So
Yeah, Razer Phone
Motorola.
2. No,
Razer's
it's
owned by
not.
Motorola. Okay.
Razer is Razer. You're talking about Razer
Hello,
phones.
I see
I'm
I
talking
missed the
about
bit where Picard
Razer,
somehow
the
secretly
brands.
recorded Spock.
No, it was.
It's not
there's
Motorola
a
Razer.
historical
It's not
recreation, don't worry
Motorola
about it.
RZR.
Yeah.
It's Razer, like the peripheral brand, Razer Phone 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that existed.
Oh wait, I know how they got the hologram of Spock. So because Captain Picard is a robot now, they just downloaded that memory for their records.
Possibly.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mom, could you
I mean-
stop being such a jerk?
We knew he was transmitting messages like back and forth, so they could have just gotten it from there. Your mom's a traitor.
LOL. Good explanation.
Again, her mum knows that the Vulcans will never trust her unless she is being completely candid with them. And again, their entire thing is absolute candor.
Yes, I
Well,
lied
I
to my
think-
sister in 3rd grade.
I think
I
there's a
lied.
plot hole here. Her mom talked about Giorgio dying. As far as the mom is concerned, Giorgio lived a perfectly normal life later on. In fact, she's on their ship right now.
She
It's
must
true,
have,
though.
she either must have spoken with someone who is in on it, or got access
Right.
to the
Oh wait, how did she know that?
classified records.
That
But
Emperor
that the
Giorgio is
mirror
not
universe is a
Captain
thing?
Giorgio.
Okay, wait. So sorry. One other thing is that the purpose of this inquiry is to get to the truth. So
Yes.
what is Michael Burnham's purpose if it's not the Federation? Because obviously she's not a good Starfleet officer. She's not
Because
here.
the first duty of
Yeah.
every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Whether it's
She's-
scientific truth or historical truth or personal truth.
What's her agenda? Tell us, Michael. I mean, it's a good question, right? You should always ask somebody, "What's your agenda?"
Hey, do you guys want to play StarCraft later? What's your agenda?
StarCraft 2.
But yeah, what's your agenda, Ryan?
Like, if her mom's trying to help her here, sure, but her mom actually sounds angry at her.
A little bit.
I mean, she is,
I don't
but
think
she's not
mom's on
telling them the
side.
truth,
I mean-
which is logic.
No,
which
she's
is
doing the
point
Quetzal
here.
Malat thing, which is I can't hide this from the Inquiry of Truth Committee.
Yeah. And it is her role to draw out the truth.
This episode has a really good lesson. I know, Gyrinx, you hate when I spoil it, but she wins by surrendering. She doesn't want the information from Vulcan.
Really, it's just a shame that the sphere wasn't around for the burn, because its data would have been able to solve all this.
Christ.
Ironically.
Jinx, you shouldn't
But,
have told us you hate that plot point. Now I can use it as a weapon.
It's fine. I enjoy being angry about it.
I want to
So,
say though,
It's fine.
I love Michael's acting here because it's like, you don't care about Starfleet, but tell us what you do care about. And the point of this episode is that who's the audience? The audience is, the Saru's future wife to be. Because she'll give her the
That's
data.
not the point of the episode.
Because look, her Vulcanness is on trial, right? Like, so she has to be Vulcan enough to convince the Vulcans to give up their Vulcan behavior.
I don't know if it's really about being Vulcan exactly, because part of what she's doing here is being candid about her humanness.
I mean, it's like Spock, right? She has that same thing where she's been struggling to be. She's arguing on their terms. She's trying to show them what logic would say. Hand over us the scientific data. Anyway, there's a lot of crying in the scene.
Well, except I mean, the real issue here,
Mhm.
here isn't actually about logic. I mean, right? That's the evidence.
Yeah, Romulan guy gets
yes, yeah.
it. My new favorite ambassador.
I love that so much.
So this threatens
He's
the
so
peace
right.
of Nafar. Oh man, her brother was the reunification guy.
Yes. And Pike has to hold the information that the Vulcans and Romulans are one species until Kirk discovers that.
Good point.
How did the Romulans even get to Romulus?
Wait, how does Pike find out?
In
His
episode
future
10 of
self
season
visits
1,
him.
last one, he goes forward and sees the same episode where we learn that they are one species.
He plays through Balance of Terror as
Yep.
in Kirk's place. And then he restored a save point.
I mean, you know, your future self came to warn you to not mess with the timeline, or else. So.
Or else this episode couldn't happen, because the whole point was we need
Or else
Spock.
this
and Spock
episode
always
couldn't happen.
dies.
So. It's very important. So.
Like a pinch on the neck from Mr. Spock.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna take your future self seriously, Robo. Right?
I would
don't know,
love
future me
to
sounds
be
like
able.
an idiot.
I would love to be able to talk to my past self.
Yeah.
No,
Buy
I mean-
Bitcoin.
I mean, but the one that's smarter
Fuck
than
Bitcoin.
you are now, not the one that you're already
want to
smarter.
explain to myself that, you know, things that aren't making me happy, that are keeping me unhappy, would take me, you know, some decades to figure out on my own.
Yeah, but so Pike really needed it, okay? Like, otherwise, the rest of us have to watch Spock die.
And her mother just smiling there, and yep, that's exactly what I wanted from you. Well done.
See,
Hey, it's
radical
Terra again.
honesty works. Radical honesty is
I mean,
well, it didn't work this time. We didn't get the
in
data.
some circumstances.
We didn't get the data.
Listen, anyone who describes themselves as brutally honest is not someone you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want absolute candor. Maybe we just want mostly candor.
I like. It's like an Interstellar. That, you know, if we want candor settings, so it could be just like 90% honest.
Yeah.
That seems like a good level.
I mean, if you're a guest at someone's house and the food isn't great, you may want to keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Or as the German expression goes, that whole story about the kid finally speaking up and going, "This food is alright," or whatever it was, and then going, "I didn't speak up before because it was all satisfactory."
Oh yeah, right.
Does her mom ever come back in a later episode?
This is her outro.
God, I have too many phones now.
Oh my god, Mom, you just had that in your pocket. Just slip it to me. Palm it off. Come on.
I love how it looks like an iPod's hard disk from 2005. You know, actually, I had a non-Apple MP3 player. Had a hard disk just and a little circular wheel just like that. You know, it had 256 megabytes.
Yep.
Yep.
Not
put like 100 songs on it.
It is fascinating that they always buy themselves the lost causes. I assume that they're pretty confident that they can turn the lost cause into a non-lost cause, because otherwise, as has been said, they would die out very quickly.
Evolution doesn't lean towards that, but okay.
You told Octopus Head?
This is a nice moment, though.
It
kind of. I still.
It's nice for Tilly's personality type. Tilly would like this.
Yeah.
You know, my coworkers got me a birthday cake once or twice or 3 times. It was the most touching thing to have like a whole cake for you.
No, it's a very touching moment. It's true. It's just
It makes you cry, you know, like a little bit, Just a little bit. No, but okay,
The
so
head-
but
wait,
the
wait,
other
wait, wait,
scene-
wait. Was that a mention of a toilet? The head and her fresher? That sounds like a toilet
Yes.
reference.
Mhm. Yeah, I missed that joke.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wait. If her
Exist-
mother had that, why didn't she? Did we ever address why she didn't just give it up at the hand it over earlier?
No, I think it was President who's gave it to her
Saru's
after
wife.
the meeting. Yeah.
Saru's side chick.
It's not a side trick if he doesn't. He doesn't have different.
They
That's
both hear the
not what a
same
side
music.
chick is.
They both hear the same music when they hang out. But no, this scene is
Well,
really
that-
touching. Okay.
His romantic interest, yes.
It's because
this scene's
whenever
really...
they're together, the camera is also facing them from the side.
That's what it is. But I didn't notice that until after they got married and stuff. But anyway, that's just me. In the scene before, remember Stamets says, "I hate that thought of calling you sir," but now they're all like, "Come on, we want
I
you." to be
know.
sir."
That's
she's-
yes.
She's a cadet.
I'm
really
glad.
smart.
I'm glad we confirmed that Stamets was in fact going to finish that sentence with something nicer. It's like it's gonna be weird, but it's fine. You're good. Like yeah, it was
Have
what
you
he
ever
was
had
going to say.
Have you ever had a younger boss? It is a weird experience. No offense to
I
anyone.
mean,
who-
I rarely have a not younger boss anymore, but yes.
you know what I'm saying? I'd feel weird at this point having someone who's younger than me like boss me around. No offense. I mean, you got to take orders. I mean, it's part of
Oh
life,
my
right?
god,
I
she
don't have
smiled for a
issues with
second.
the
Did you
whole...
see that? A Vulcan?
Yeah. Oh, this is the more bonding, and like you said, Ryan, the camera's always to the side. Love is in the air.
Yes. They're already getting it on with each other.
That's something I didn't see this coming, but now
getting
it's
on with
so
each other.
obvious. They can't be apart from each other.
Kitty.
Hey, grudge.
To be fair, I didn't see Book and Michael coming either, so
Really?
I really did. I thought they just liked each
Wow.
other. I thought he was just side candy.
What's with you and calling people side pieces? Can't people
Sorry.
just like each other?
Yeah, we're okay for a while and then we move on.
Look at he's tall, he's muscular, he's heroic, he has a cat, he has his own ship, he's got a good job. Come on.
He's got it. He cares
Yeah.
about animals.
Yeah, that pretty much does say heartthrob right there.
Look at those biceps.
Look at that stubble. Come on, man.
He looks pretty
Oh,
good with
they're
his
the
shirt off.
perfect height for it. Look at how perfectly his chin is at her
Yeah.
head height.
Yeah.
So he can
Mhm.
just use her as a headrest. Perfect.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they're not really into each other because there's something missing. They're not as lovey-dovey as the typical like Imzadi relationship.
I mean, seems like a good thing.
Yeah, it
if
is.
they're not overplaying it.
It is a good thing.
Like you're
Usually
used to
they're
seeing
at
on TV?
work.
I'm used to seeing Riker in bed with
Yeah, that
somebody
too.
introducing him to a video game with his eyes and in a robe.
God, that episode
You know?
was so weird.
My mom too was like, "What? Like that's in the Star Trek Encyclopedia." She's like, "What kind of book do you buy, and what kind of shows do you watch?"
That episode is the classic, like, Star Trek when I am alone. Best of both worlds. Star Trek when my parents walk in. The game.
Oh yeah.
All right, next episode is The Sanctuary, which is about the Emerald Chain again. Somewhat uncreative name for a race of green people. It's like calling... If I started an organization, it would be the Pink Chain.
Pink skin chain.
Yes.
That's racist.
That's what
I'm
Sean
calling
calls us.
myself pink. What do you mean?
Yeah. It's still racist to pink-skinned people. But anyway.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Speaking of Jeffrey Schran,
Close enough.
Jeffrey Schran.
I saw the Lower Decks episode where he's the voice of the computer that like wants to get plugged in.
Yes.
But I was watching that earlier, yesterday and today, so it's kind of funny to see him show up in Lower Decks.
It's not Star Trek if Jeffrey's not there.
He did a great job.
Wait, is Jeffrey in Discovery? I don't think he is.
No, I don't think so.
Unfortunately.
He hasn't been
Ryan,
in Star Trek
gonna-
for well, actually, apart from Lower Decks.
I'm gonna nominate you to be muted for being a member of the toxic fandom, and saying this is not Star Trek if ...
What is Jeffrey doing these days? Watchmen Chapter 1, stream Masters of the Universe, Batman.
Oh, he's in Watchmen Chapter 1?
He plays Edgar Jacobi Moloch, British newscaster, ...
I didn't know that. Giorgio is always a win, so let's put a ding for that.
Yes, Philippa, you're very edgy. Just give me your medical
Yeah.
history.
That's true though. She is really sick, and she's like totally being in. If it's funny enough, I read that, and I swear I read this somewhere in, scientific sourced. But men, they kind of downplay illnesses because that's like a survival mechanism to like be more healthy or like see themselves as like. So we go to the doctor less. But this is what Giorgio's doing here. She's like, I'm strong. I don't need to worry about my interdimensional cells.
Where did I bury that last body?
Yeah.
Oh, does she have space dementia?
Spatial dysphagia. But he looks really good in white.
The subtitles are a little out of sync here. Hang on.
Hmm.
It said, if I had time, I'd poison your children while Colbert was on screen. I was like, what? He said what?
Yeah.
Subtitle delay minus 3,500 is what I worked out earlier.
Perfect.
Ah.
Not great syncing up with them. Yes.
Fortunately, VLC has a subtitle or audio delay option, so you can just
Nice.
budget over.
That's the brilliance of open source.
And next episode has a minus 2,000 milliseconds for the subtitles, so I need to remember to edit it.
But imagine I was in a court martial and your mom was your biggest witness against you. That would just be like, come on. I'm still mad about that, actually. I'm still like super upset about that.
It worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It's just that I
So
told you
no
something.
issues.
I told you something in confidence, and you brought up the fact that I pushed my cousin down a hill when he was on a bike when I was in third grade. I did do that. I did. I'm sorry. That doesn't go to my character, though.
So Trajan is going to be under attack from the Emerald Chain, and that's why we're going after the Emerald Chain.
I thought this was too much. I already like suffered enough when Vulcan was genocided. Quajon was a little too much. We don't see Quajon genocided just now, though. We get to see like the
They don't want to
transforms.
like destroy Quajon. They just want to culturally destroy Quajon. It's a different thing. Make them a nice slave race.
No, they do destroy Quajon. Everybody on it's dead, right? In like a season from
Next season.
Yeah.
That's not the Emerald Chain's fault.
Yeah.
Oh right, that's the DMA.
That's the Space Cthulhu's.
Digital Millennium.
The Run DMC.
Yeah.
That's the
Dark
Zelnaka.
Matter Anomaly. Cthulhu is the best, most appropriate name. But anyway.
Cthulhu. Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I never
The
see
Sleeper,
anything Cthulhu
the
based
ancient one.
anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like Cthulhu.
Well,
falls
you
over.
know, I feel like the more people found out about H.P. Lovecraft, the less people wanted to.
I mean, the cool part is he's open, like he's out of copyright, which is kind of amazing that something that old became that contemporary. Like in a way, Star Trek TNG was unique in keeping like Sherlock alive in many ways.
The
Oh.
reason why there was so much time between Sherlock episodes is because the estate went after them and they had to work it out.
Yes.
I think
He's
it's
been
safe
dead
to say that Julian Bashir, secret agent, will return.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I want to say I love how this guy dies.
I love
remember
Osira as
that.
well. She's great.
Well, the funny thing is though, I love my aunt a lot, so I couldn't imagine her feeding me. Like she's my favorite person. But
Feeding you?
well, to a transform, like as my mode of execution, it would sting a little bit more because she brought me to America and everything. So, and Osira, please no.
It doesn't feel very hypnotized.
Oh, his leg came off.
We had those in Star Wars too, right?
The Rancor?
What's that thing that hypnotizes the pilot? In
Bogolet.
Bogolet.
okay.
You will know that.
What about Yes Alarmy? Yes Alarmy.
Oh wait, and
Limbs
then
flying off.
Remember the thing that's like on the Millennium Falcon when they go to hyperspace warp, and then
Could you be
it
more
shows up later, I
specific?
believe, in Rogue One, like it's on the outside of the hull and stuff too, in A New Hope.
Are you referring to the giant space worm that tries to eat them? Are you referring to the Minoc flying bat creatures? Are you referring to that monster that rampages through the ship in the sequels?
Yeah, I'm connecting it to something in the sequels, but yeah, it's the second thing you mentioned. The worms they have to
Minocs.
fish for, the bat kind of things. No, but later, so when Han Solo meets Rey for the first time, and they go to hyperdrive, they also have that thing on their windshield, which is funny. The thing wouldn't get off their windshield.
Soma,
Yes.
what's your favorite plane in War Thunder?
Kansas.
Directed by
Good
Jonathan
plane.
Frakes. This episode.
Nice.
I like the tanks
I
of
do have
oxygen
one, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
along the walls. This is a nice set. I never noticed we had corridors that were filled with like
Shed?
propane tanks.
Yeah.
Very elaborate.
this thing.
Whoa.
No, don't do it. No, don't do that, Joey. Stop.
Yeah.
Some nerd humor. we fail at being cool, but that's okay. That's cool in its own way.
No, it generally isn't.
As you grow older, you realize you make your own cool.
What's wrong with
So-
engage or make it so?
No, every captain makes their own. That's what we're establishing now.
Captain Kern with
So-
his
Which
execute.
isn't.
It just doesn't make sense because there's not enough
Yeah.
words in the English language to
Yeah.
do that.
It really doesn't.
I'd say fire up the steam engine.
No, don't do that.
Get the water boiling.
Go forth.
Do you think that's how the warp core works? Like it just uses antimatter reactions to heat up water to spin a turbine? Is that still what they're doing in the future?
No,
Warp me.
they're using plasma. Warp me.
That's
Plasma to
Captain
heat the
Freeman
water.
from Lower Decks.
To heat a ridiculous amount of water through a turbine. And that generates electricity. That makes the ship go.
Is this the psychic influence of the Kelpian child on the universe?
Yes. His mom used to sing him that lullaby.
Yes.
So, fun fact, I remember reading as a kid in astronomy, we discovered the microwave background radiation of the universe that came from the Big Bang. And so the
That's a
crazy
good
thing is,
class.
and that means when you watch static on your TV, some of that is the cosmic microwave background radiation that you're picking up. I mean, we don't have antennas on our TVs anymore, but once upon a time, we had antennas on our TV, and they used to pick up signals in the air, and you would see static if there wasn't any
Hello there.
channel available on that frequency. Oh, a lot of
So they
randomizers.
solved the burn. They figured it out in like 2 days.
Yep.
The Vulcan Science Directorate has determined that figuring out the cause of the burn is impossible.
I forgot it was even Sunday rolling on the floor laughing.
Okay, so in fairness, Ryan, in fairness, they didn't have warp drives, so they couldn't teleport and get
They didn't need
Yeah,
warp
yeah,
drives. They already
data.
had all the data.
Book got them the additional 2 points of data that they needed. They didn't have the ability to warp around and get that data that Book got. And also Book's a
I don't think
smuggler.
I'd buy it.
Book's a
Oh,
smuggler.
okay. She is now they.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you for updating the pronouns.
We did it. It's a little clunky, the writing, but I mean, it works.
It's nice
Yeah.
because the actor is a famous trans person, so it's nice to incorporate.
Well, sort of made famous by the show, but yes.
No, they were already a little bit famous.
Hi at Elizabeth 184.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Yes, hello, Elizabeth. Can't see. Well, I don't have the chat up normally, so it doesn't give us names in the text to speech.
Also, fun fact. Hey, many trans people saw Dax's character as an inspiration.
Yes.
Because you're a man inside a woman's body, and how does that work? It works perfectly fine, actually.
No.
Um,
Dax is a worm inside a woman's body.
Yeah.
But there is a very good scene in Deep Space Nine with the Klingon who knew Curzon Dax
Oh, yeah.
and then says,
And also in
Oh.
TNG, the introductory
on,
Dax
Soma.
episode is about
Dax, my old lost friend.
Dr. Crusher not being allowed to be in love with the Trill person.
Don't.
The Trill person.
The hot guy. The super hot Trill.
That's what we're
Ooh.
going with. We're going with execute.
No. That's Tony Todd's. He's not
Yeah,
allowed
there's
to
an
use it.
argument. A lot of men are worms.
But the thing is, though,
Well,
somebody.
that's right. It is Tony Todd's.
That's why people. That's why would you still love me if I was a worm? That's why that happened because deep down we're all worms.
Well, there's something in our consciousness that's beyond gender, and
She
we're all
named her
taught to.
ship Green.
So anyway,
Well-
Discovery just makes that official. You know, the trance and the trill parallels.
Everything
Yeah,
with
Of course,
so-
would
Orion
love
is
you
branded
if you were
just
Worm
green.
Ryan.
So D Space Nine, it was subtle and it was a nice little like
D6
you know,
used it as
undertone.
a metaphor for
And
gayness.
here in Discovery, they just hit you over the head with it like a mallet.
I mean,
like just
No, DS Time was discussing the issue of same sex without talking about same sex.
what are you
and
talking
here-
about? They explicitly have Jadzia, who was Curzon.
Yes.
Of course, it was a metaphor for that.
Yes.
Now it's just like
What I'm saying is
it's
though,
just they've removed any pretense and it's
what I'm saying is
no
though,
longer a metaphor. It's just this is just a trans character. That's it.
it was
That's
coded
fine.
because it was 90s
You got a
television.
problem with
and we
that?
had-
It's fine. No, it's
Berman.
fine. It's not subtle. It's not like it's not. I don't know. There's
It's
no
a whole different issue though. It's a whole different issue.
Okay.
Like I have a
So-
gay coworker, right? He grew up in the 80s. He said, you know, like issues like trans were under the rug. Like being gay was in the closet. Trans was under the rug. It wasn't part of like the discourse of rights that we were discussing. So it's kind of cool. I feel like Discovery is doing great by bringing it to the forefront.
Well, even TNG at that time in the 90s did a episode on non-binary people. Didn't do it very well, but it did an episode
Discovery's
on it.
over.
The
yeah.
episode where
Well, it was-
conversion therapy works, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the episode was alright.
TNG, what are you doing? They tried for the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happened. The episode got chopped up.
That was an attempt.
Remember, this is the show that gave us the first.
It was
interracial
good.
kiss.
It was good for its
So,
time.
It's a-
Okay.
Yes.
It's a fact of history that the show wasn't first on gay rights, you know. So it's kind of making up for it by being a little bit more vocal about trans rights. Like, so in Star Trek: First Contact, Lieutenant Hawk was supposed to be the first openly gay character, but then like we had a producer explicitly say he's not going to be gay. So
We got assimilated.
Hawk? Wasn't that
Yeah.
dude with the rifle?
yeah, the
You
one
gotta
who
Did he even have
assimilated.
lines?
the captain help me.
No, that's a different character.
Okay.
Lieutenant
But,
Hawk is so unimportant, you don't even know what he looks
Target
like.
destroyed.
Sulu oh my.
No, but,
It,
so
act-
the-
it looks like both the grey actor and them do know how to play that viola.
oh, the cello. Yeah, the viola. It's not a
Or
viola.
cello, yeah.
It's a cello, because the viola's.
Just because someone's a captain doesn't mean they're immediately respected. You know what I'm saying?
So I
Andorians are a very hierarchical species. They love the chain
Yeah.
of command. 1,200 years before this episode. I assume the culture is the same.
Yeah.
I kind of love this character because he's so scared of Osira, but he's gonna face her anyway. Apologies in advance for the World War II reference, but in the concentration camps they had some guards who were members of the persecuted class, and they were called capos, and they were hated more than the regular Nazi guards because they were like especially brutal, but they were
Race traders.
somewhat. So this guy is supposed to be a capo, like he's a useful prison guard for
Nice
Osira.
transition.
Quijon's really beautiful. by the
Oh,
way.
I forgot to mention earlier in that scene where Emperor Giorgio is in sickbay with her white outfit. There's an outtake there where she's pretending to be asleep and just breaks out laughing.
I like how these are
Oh, I don't like this planet. No, this
jellyfish with spiders. Like it looks like a virus that's blown up to
Cyrus the
this
virus.
looks like a forest that needs to burn.
Those look like macrophages. Or bacteriophages.
Yeah, that's what they look like, yeah. Pretty orange though. Like we never see this much orange and red and
They put a
It's
orange
like what
gel
kind of
over
red
the
is this
camera
color scheme?
lens.
Yeah.
it's autumnal.
Hello,
What's up, bro?
brother.
You guys are spoiling.
What is that accent? Why do you have a different accent than Book?
That's his name, Terex. That was his original name.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. He goes by Book now.
Hmm.
See, that's the thing. I really thought Book was his name, but he took it off. to Book.
His brother's going by magazine, and his cousin goes by newspaper.
Yeah, Cleveland Booker is the Dread Pirate Roberts.
This kind of reminds me. I remember reading that, like, in the 1800s, women, like, because people used to work in the fields, they'd work in the fields, give birth, and then go back to working in the fields. And now, like, we think, okay, make sure you give someone pain meds. But Giorgio is so wired to handle pain. She never lets anyone know.
How do you cure polygon exploditis?
Polygon
Speech with Daniels. That's how you do it.
That's a little beyond medical.
What if you just like wrap her in bandages like a mummy to keep her polygons in place? Wait, he stopped being a Terex. He didn't stop being Terex, he stopped being a Terex. So Terex isn't his name, it's like a title.
Or family named, yeah.
Yeah.
Poison.
Book, where did you pick up the American accent?
He's speaking with an American accent?
Yeah,
Guapalazorn.
Book speaks American, but his brother here.
Actual brother or symbolic brother?
Actual brother. I think.
Really?
So you want us to see, yeah.
Hi, Osira. So, okay, now it's a mix.
Yeah.
It's a view
Wow.
screen and a hologram.
She doesn't look like a typical Orion.
I don't know, Discovery Orions are pretty much just people painted green.
Not as interesting. I doubt.
Which, to
I
be
bet you
fair,
they
is
just
how
put a
kind of
filter
they're
on
always
them.
portrayed.
Yeah, but. Hmm.
Saru, you know, is he trying to distract her? Because he's got to know this is not gonna.
Yes.
She's not gonna accept that.
He basically is paraphrasing the World War II, well,
They came for
Holocaust
me.
poem. Yeah. If I was the team for the communists and I did not stand up to them because I was not a communist, then they came for me, that sort of thing. There's no one left to stand for me.
I was not a transworm. Well, kind of, Saru. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Not
Enterprise
really. It was just
reference.
roleplay slavery.
Yeah. Well, the Orion men were realistically, some of them were enslaved.
I just remember the episode of Enterprise where that Orion guy
Acceptable.
played by the Big Show picked up Jolene Blalock to fall like
Yeah.
like she was product. And he's like, how much for this one?
And she's product, and like she weighed nothing as well. He's strong.
because he's the
Big
Big
fella.
Show. Was it Big Show that played that character?
Big, strong, bald man.
Yeah, there was a lot of wrestler crossovers during UPN.
Oh, that's weird that they put a filter over her voice here. They don't usually do that for these holograms.
Yeah.
Oh, he's behind 8 proxies and she still found him. Wow.
Yeah.
Those proxies are adding the filter.
You gotta be careful if you're using a VPN or a proxy that it's not just a honeypot.
That's why you should always connect to 3 different VPNs. You route all your VPN 1 traffic through VPN 2 and your VPN 2 traffic through VPN 3. This is a very nice house, though. I like the scenic view. I
Yeah.
like the forest, other than the horrifying monster creatures inside the forest. Ooh, hecapates. That term gets used in Deep Space Nine. Is that even a real word? Hang on. What's a hecapate? Okay, yes. Hecapate is specifically a Star Trek term. Nog and Jake buy some hecapates of land to trade for yamek sauce.
No, they buy they
buy
bought
land with
stem
yamek
cells
sauce?
with yamek sauce, and then they bought the land with the stem self-sealing stem bolts. Why did I
That's a
say
lot of stem
stem
bolts.
cells? They might have had a better chance selling stem cells. How about some of that mutagenic plasma that they wanted for the data rod? What was it called?
It was a self-stealing data rod.
Admiral Vance. Admiral Vance. Admiral J.D. Vance?
No.
Hey, you know what I thought was a smart move? He chose someone whose last name was almost the same as his previous running mate, so he could just get a sticker to cover up the PE with the VA, and then a 4 to stick on the end of the 2020. Save a lot of money that way. Don't need all new signs. Just needs little sticker sets. Just saying.
Okay. Oh, he brought security officers. Yes, well done, Culber. Thinking ahead. Now, I've never seen these two people before. I don't know who they are, but good that you brought them. Now, this corridor does look infuriating to work in with how extremely red it is.
Yeah.
So I moved my SIM card to my new phone, but I can't receive or make calls. Oh, wait.
Do you think they actually like detonated small explosives behind them for this shot?
Possibly.
Ah, come on, we can take them. They're Orions. Orions have never been a threat. Yep, go move it along. We get it. Bookship, come on.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, Cyrus ship also has some detached nacelles going on. Weird. Kitty. Come on, you didn't know. I thought you were best friends with Book. You didn't know he had a cat.
No, we never mentioned it.
But she's a queen. Quick, grab the gun. Get it. Book. Oh no, Michael's got a gun. Interesting that these still have like phaser rifle sound effects, but they're just dart throwers.
Hmm.
Maybe it's like a little railgun.
He's just holding the cat.
Well, what else are you going to do with it? Frankly, though, we should have evacuated the cat to Discovery.
The cat.
Kayla, I am very concerned by how often you're looking away from the screen. No, Kayla, watch where you're going, Kayla.
I hate when people do that in cars and shows. I've just seen
Yeah.
so many times when they look away for a second and something hits them.
Oh. Oh, she gets the what
Is
you
that-
call it, HTC Vive controllers.
Yeah, that's I think those are the index controllers. Hang on.
Spray painted bronze.
Yeah, those are Valve index controllers.
Stop, boys! Don't fight over me.
You are my brother, Kaim.
I loved you.
Oh my gosh. We were brothers.
Though, Michael, you're a little too close. Back up a bit. You're in knife
Bow,
range.
bow, 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 bow. You are in knife range.
Ooh, it has. Is that gun made of wood? It is made of wood.
Yeah.
Typical nature species.
Mm.
I mean, Spock's brother held him at gunpoint. Book's brother is holding him at gunpoint. I can't shoot him. Why the hell not?
Are Quasians elves?
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
They
Because
They're
like
call
elves
druids.
also, but elves also have like positive relationships with animals. Nature loves
Yeah,
elves.
but we already have elves. They're Vulcans. We can't have two elves.
I think probably one of them is Mirkwood and one
No,
of
the
them is
Vulcans are the
they're-
high elves and the
No, no, no.
Trojans are the wood
They're
elves.
wait. They're dryads. They're dryads. They aren't nearly as noble as elves. Come on.
Maybe they're like Elder Scrolls wood elves who are just crazy.
Has anyone here played World of Warcraft?
Yeah,
No, what's
been a
that?
while.
So in World of Warcraft, the dryad, like the female dryads, the little like doe deer characters, if you've noticed, they have like flies flying around their butt, and I was like, why do they do that? Is that to just like try and dissuade like uh creepy stuff? Anyway. He has a son.
Mm.
My son's name is Book.
Something I like about Book's character, he speaks that foreign language, like before his kid brother dies. The wachito wach.
Is that just Klingon?
Yeah. It was nice because
You know,
we
while
tried
they're
it with
still
the Vulcan.
kids, they're just named Chapter. It's only when they get to full size.
Sequel. Wait. Epilogue. Index.
Also, I like that Osira, like, she doesn't care about the technicality of, oh, it wasn't a Federation starship that fired on
Yeah.
it. It's like she knows what's up. You can't. Maybe if that would work against the Shellyak, but actual like people, no, they don't care about
Yeah.
that technicality. Ugh, no, burn the forest. I hate these bugs.
That's very
This is so elvish. Come on.
mammal centric of you.
I don't even know what the Shellyak are.
Is this on Quajon? Are they on Quajon?
Yes.
Well, don't worry, Ryan. It'll be gone soon.
Yeah, no, Species 10C was doing him a favor. The rest of the galaxy a favor, anyway.
You guys are justifying genocide.
There's creepy bugs in that forest, dude. Come on.
Worth
Creepy
it.
bugs always justifies genocide. Oh my, who's
This is really Elven though, so we're using his natural powers with the phaser of the ship, or the deflector array.
the phaser? The phaser knows where it
Deflector array can do
is.
anything, including communicate with literal bugs.
The phaser knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. It knows where it isn't because it knows where it wants to be and where it was.
So something cool, really cool we do, at least here in New York City also, we release like sterile mosquitoes to breed with real mosquitoes. Then that reduces their numbers because they think they're breeding, but they're just going down an evolutionary dead end.
Would that work with people too?
It's working right now.
Well, Ren, you did just participate in a Federation attempt at deception.
You told me that
I feel like fair enough.
the first duty of a Starfleet officer was not, in fact, the truth.
It turns out the first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the plot.
Hey, they should do that with people. It'd be awesome.
Deceive people? Lizard? That's racist, kid. You can't call Linus a lizard. I wonder how this affects little kids' memory. Like, do they, when they grow up, do they remember seeing a dinosaur? Like, is it a false memory that they think it's like an actual dinosaur? They get all confused. How does this work? A good story for another time. For a couple months.
Yeah. God, it's a. If it were to set up a better plot, I might feel less grumpy about it. But
Come on. What's wrong with harvesting
big
a
scary
planet?
space.
I don't know. There's a cool thing there about like communing with nature that these people live with. They live in like total harmony with their environment.
And that's why they gotta go. We're a tech future, not a nature
Yeah,
future.
I don't think they're putting microplastics in every. But something else I think about, right? Like every river was polluted by 1960. You couldn't swim in it or drink from it anymore. So, I don't know. Is it bad that I complain? But
At that age, any sleeping kid is golden. They're 23.
Yeah.
no, she's a kid genius. She's like 16. I'm
A genius?
Prodigy is the Wesley Crusher is the word you're looking for.
The Mozart of engineering.
I like the Discovery has like collaborative process.
You see,
That's what I don't.
this is why I take issue with people saying like they're hammering it over your head that they're non-binaries. Like they talked about it exactly once. Now everyone just accepts it and it's just normal.
Yep.
We got a kiss after it too. See, they're hammering it over our heads, Ryan.
How dare they?
Sorry.
Are these
There's
people
literally
going to kiss
twice the
too?
number of-
Disgusting.
There's literally twice the number of heterosexual relationships in these 3 seasons than there are homosexual ones.
LGBTQIA plus.
That plus.
For all the stuff that's not defined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just. Oh, okay.
I mean, there are
Not my
practical
business, but-
limits to the length of a term.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's
The
why we
main
go-
reason that it's a
Gonna run
plus
out
is
of,
just so that
run out of letters in the alphabet.
the main reason it's a plus is just so that it doesn't have to be changed continuously
Yeah, it's just not
You
practical.
know-
as more people are officially recognized.
Can we all agree that Vulcans? No.
No.
Like the name of that doctor in DS9.
Oh,
Wow. Sidiga
who
Tahir.
was it?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of literally any other doctor in DS9. I got nobody. It's Siddiq Al-Tahir Father Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abu Karim Makti. Are there any other doctors in DS9? I can't remember anybody.
The
Good
doctor
point.
that raised Odo,
It
the
was that Bajoran
Dr.
doctor lady?
Mora.
Yeah. Well, no, not him. He's evil.
Dr.
We see other doctors in episodes, but I don't think they're named.
I don't think he's evil.
We have Bajoran nurses, which are provisional staff, like Kira.
Provisional government.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mora, also known as
Nurses.
Dr.
I think there's a
Gerok.
Bajoran doctor.
Also
Dr.
known as
Jirok.
The LMH.
Doctor.
What about the
Dr.
doctor that created the virus from the Babel episode? What about
Okay, yes,
Dr.
there are
Mendel.
in fact other doctors.
what about the doctor from the planet where the Dominion engineered a virus that makes people have the quickening, and then he just has like these dying rooms for people to die? And
Does he count? Wait, hang on. Press play in 5, 4, Terra Firma Part 1, 2, 1, play.
he's as much
Does
of
he
a
count
doctor as Mother
'Cause he
Teresa
just
was a
kills
nun.
people?
Hey, it worked for Mother Teresa.
Good lord.
People loved her, and she just put people in rooms where they starved to death, and that was okay.
Out of sight, out of mind.
It was oh, you're sick because you did something that angered God, so you have to suffer, and once you've suffered enough, you'll be absolved of your sins and you'll get better. She just put people in rooms where they starved to death in agony.
The woman who
And
got
she's remembered
valedictorian over
fondly.
Bashir.
She's a saint of the Catholic
Was she a
Church.
doctor? I guess she was, yeah. I remember her being like research focused. I don't remember her name.
Do you remember the doctor in Next Generation that looked like Hillary Clinton, and she did the spine thing for Worf?
The one who murdered several patients to test her pet theories?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yes, that one.
Mother Teresa, not a good mother.
That was an amazing
No,
scientific.
turns
Hey,
out she's evil.
Cronenberg.
Hey,
A scan of somebody from their like nervous tissues and muscles layered outward.
Here's what it is. Okay, Cronenberg, he looks AI generated to me.
he does kind of.
So this is where
Cronenberg.
people have confusion over Kelvin timeline. So this, as he's about to explain, is literally one guy that went from the Kelvin timeline to our timeline.
Yes.
So Kelvin is canon,
Yes.
but it's not this universe. It's a different universe.
Yep.
Mm.
Now, I'm not sure why they put him in a TNG Season 1 uniform, because those are the worst.
That's true.
At least give him the Mandarin collar. Come on. It's not even the TNG Season 1. It has some extra stripes at the top, but it's still mostly TNG Season 1.
I mean, if you had to wear one century's fashion, that would be it for me.
Prime and Mirror officially canon.
Yep. Yes, the Mirror Universe is only mentioned off-screen in TOS. Or called by that name off-screen.
2,379? But that dude has a 2,365 or older TNG uniform.
No, but even in late TNG, rando background extras were still wearing the old one. It's just a matter of, are
Yeah.
they important enough for it?
Well, not only that, but they also converted a lot of the old uniforms into the new style by just adding collars to them and removing the shoulder piping. But it's still zipped in the front, and it was still spandex one-piece bodysuit. So at least they try to make it look like the newer ones, in the background. Because you're watching on a 480 by 320 TV with scan lines. I mean,
And maybe that's
who's
what
gonna
this guy
notice?
has. He has one of the ones that had the collar added, but because he has his weird neck ridges, the collar doesn't work, so they had to take it back off.
Maybe.
So why didn't they let him wear those short shorts that the men were also wearing?
The
Scan?
skort, scant, escort,
Scanned.
Can't.
skirt shorts, skirt pants. I don't know. I think it's more like skort.
Those were
Definitely sounds like something Coach Z would
LOL.
say.
Scant.
Are you wearing skirts?
You're
Oh,
very
there's another
scantily
outtake
clad.
here.
Lol.
There's another outtake here where Philippa... What actually happened? She, raises her arm. I guess she, missed the bowl to flip it. In the outtake, it looks like she's going to go punch her and just, stop short.
This episode needs a content warning. That's a lot of abuse from a senior officer.
Well, I mean, she's literally Hitler. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, true.
Getting some jelly flipped on you is probably the least of your worries.
No, she said I'd put you down like a dog. You shouldn't tell somebody that they deserve to die. But yeah, you're right. She's the Emperor Giorgio.
How did your computer calculate that? How does it know?
I hate that. Yeah.
Well, it's like the cosmic background radiation, right? You think it's random.
No, not
That's
right.
static.
It's nothing like the cosmic background radiation.
You think it's random, that static on your TV, but somewhere in there, there's the
That's
initial
not.
bang.
I mean, but the computer can't possibly actually calculate the probability.
I mean,
It doesn't make any sense.
now we have quantum computers.
You could guess
No,
that
no, it's not
some
even a
small
matter of
probability-
they're having the right algorithm. It's not even well.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean to speak over you,
Explained
but
enough.
here's the thing. Randomness is something so hard. I was reading, speaking of static on your TV, to have a truly random number generator, because we're all gonna have patterns even if you throw dice or whatever you're doing. But we use the random atmospheric noise to help give us random numbers. But we're not quite there at random. There's always a pattern.
We need to base... Look, if you're playing like Hearthstone, you need to base your card arrangement in your deck on the current state of the quantum foam
Yes.
when you start the game. God, what is up with quantum foam? Quantum everything's just nonsense. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid physics.
we were discussing last time, right? It's random. It's the only truly random phenomenon we can actually figure out.
Random as far as we can tell.
Oh wait.
And here we really start to see Vance cares about individuals.
I mean, I feel like it's easy to run a ship that's like the superpower of the world, right? But the hard thing is,
Oh yes, this is great.
And Odette is great in this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doing a
no,
good job.
I really like we just haven't ever seen that scene before where the admiral has to explain to the captain why they have to go back for the crew member. Like,
Mhm.
we get a really good fight scene. By the way, this show's great. It's as good as the fight scenes in Doom.
Is that a real weapon? Is this a holodeck?
no, it isn't.
It's a real weapon in the context of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, is that made
Yeah.
of photons and force fields, or is that made of steel?
I think that
Steve.
slap was real.
Yeah, she's actively trying to kill Vernon right now.
Well,
Ish.
I feel like in the close-up shot when it was right by her neck, it was like actual sword width, but that's clearly a training prop, which it should be.
Hmm.
This is a training room.
Yes.
Dying of your polygons is not honorable, Philippa.
I mean, you know, they say like cancer patients, they struggle with a lot of issues of mortality. You know, because they've been given a diagnosis. So here too, Giorgio's like not wanting to face her own mortality. It's even rumored Steve Jobs like refused his cancer treatment because he thought
He
could,
thought he could eat fruits and vegetables and cure
like,
himself.
he could
Oh
have
God,
he could have like a smoothie
Steve Jobs.
and think positive thoughts, and that would like help him.
He also thought that's why he didn't have body odor, but he smelled horrible.
Oh God, tech bros.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ.
there's a website called folklore.org, and it has all these really cool early Steve Jobs stories, people's experiences with early Steve Jobs. So just check it out.
Was
It's
he an
pretty sweet.
actual functional human being previously?
Never actually.
Okay.
But if you like The Guardian of Forever and you like City on the Edge of Forever, which was the
He's alright.
award-winning episode of that show, arguably the best written, and you could make quite an argument. I think I will make the argument. We get to see Carl.
Yes.
I do like Carl. Carl's one of my favorite
Yes, he's
characters this
great.
season.
I love that they use the TOS audio effects.
Yes.
It just hits different all these years later. Because I don't want to brag, right? But I'm somebody who saw TOS on like a antenna box top set with signals that came over from
I didn't
Connecticut.
even brag. You're just saying you're old.
I guess.
I'm also old. I also did that.
You had bunny ears on top of your TV?
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
bunny
I might have seen it on
ears.
cable actually.
I had the wire ring and the two individual ears and the one ear on the one TV.
You see, Soma, in the distant past, people used to use antennas to receive wireless signals.
No, but
I mean,
no. Here's the funny
staring at
part.
my antenna right now.
I have a coworker who's a little bit older, and she's like, in my day, we didn't have a TV with the remote control, you were the remote control because your parents would make you get up and turn off the TV
No.
stand or raise the volume.
Yup.
That's true. I did grow up in the remote control era.
Yeah.
So the first
Not
remote
every TV I
controls-
ever used had a remote, but most of them did.
So there were some early remote controls that were actually sonic, like they had a tiny little tuning
Really?
rod in them, and you would push the button. That's why it was called a clicker. It would actually click the tuning rod, and the TV would pick up that tone and change channels.
Wow.
It would go up a channel, and it would go all the way around. You couldn't go down a channel. You couldn't enter a number. You just +1, +1, +1, and when you get to the
Did it
maximum,
actually
then go
work
back
though?
to
Because my
start.
experience with like digital remote controls that used infrared was they were very finicky, and you had to press the button like 30 times
You
to get it to register.
You didn't have to point it directly at the TV.
If it was
Yeah, there's a
sonic, that
microphone,
would be helpful.
They said though that jingling of keys would set it off, so it was a little bit unreliable because that
Like
that-
CSAX.
Well, infrared remotes now can work pointing directly opposite to the
yeah.
device.
And nowadays I use my phone as a remote for my Amazon Alexa
Yes.
TV because
I hate doing that. I
haven't-
vastly prefer having an actual remote.
In the
Yeah, but
same
Wi-Fi
way
is the
that we
remote.
now have flashlight enthusiasts and flashlights are incredibly powerful, we need like TV remote control enthusiasts to make them good. We need enthusiast level
And-
remote controls.
Actually, there is a possibility that it is doing that the computer did do something to detect probability.
You just
Because it
you just
predicted where Carl was, where the gate is. And it's
Yes,
possible they're saying there's a 95% chance that I am wrong
right.
about
you
where
just
the
use
gate
one of those
is.
remote repeaters, and you
That's
write
possible.
a program, an app on your phone that, or for a tablet that just controls all your devices through one app.
You know, my problem is I have 3 Samsung TVs and I don't need them all to turn on at the same time. But
So
they all-
here's my frustration with Samsung devices. I was at my cousin's house. They have a Samsung TV, and at some point they've gotten an update because this is a new behavior.
Yeah.
Whenever you're pausing TV or a stream or anything, the TV injects ads.
Yeah.
Oh God.
nice.
Yup.
Holy
It's like,
shit.
oh, you're paused on a screen.
Oh man. I would
We're gonna
destroy that
feed you an
device
ad.
immediately. I
Yeah.
would not stand for that.
So
If I
bought a-
paused it, I freaking paused it.
I bought a used smart TV. I didn't even hook it up to the Wi-Fi because I don't want it to talk to anybody at all.
I've
just wanna
been
watch
looking for a non-smart TV. I don't think they exist.
No, if you get a 1080 one, they're smart, but they're not that smart. Like they're clunky and
I don't want it to be smart at all. I want it to have an input device. I
I
want
want
it to
it
have
to be dumb.
HDMI input and a remote.
I want my phone. I want my phone and my computer and my car and my TV to be
so
just
at this point.
lobotomized.
So at this point,
Yeah.
all the pixels are set up by a microchip. You can't not have a TV be smart. in that
Yeah,
sense.
but that's
No.
But that's-
You can have a 4K TV that's just not connected to all sorts of bullshit devices,
Yeah.
services, live services that spy on you
I
and try
want
to market
a,
to you.
I
and
It's
want
all
got
that
to
a
have
crap.
larger computer
a chip on
monitor,
it. That's
if anything.
fine.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
my best friend bought the most expensive Samsung frame, and he says the operating system sucks so much it doesn't even show you the last movie you were watching. You have to go through the menu to the app that you were last in, and then it pulls up your last movie. How stupid is that? Like,
I mean, it's all divided by
get-
app. That's true of just about every smart device.
yeah.
Get ready for
Uh.
buying a device or a car or something that has a feature built into it, and you have to pay a monthly access fee for it. Like, oh, you wanted
Oh, the
heated
heated
seats?
seats.
You
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
heated seats, $19.99 a month to access your heated seats.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Fair enough.
unrelated. So I was looking up these two characters' height. How much difference would you say there is here?
A foot. Half a
So
foot.
the difference between Doug Jones and David Ayala is 2 inches,
Oh,
which
wow.
means
Huh.
Saru's
Saru.
hooves are massive platform shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gaining a lot of height off those things.
Oh man, we haven't seen Ice Planet
We'll
in
see.
a while.
We'll
This
see
is
Drew's
just
actual
episode
height at
1
the end of the
again.
season.
But now it's cold.
Oh, this is Iceland? Nice.
No. It's way too cold here to be Iceland.
It's like Washington State,
Presumably, just yeah. Well, no, probably Canada again.
Toronto, Vancouver.
Toronto area.
Yeah.
I think Vancouver is the filming place for Star Trek, but maybe
I
the
think
show.
Vancouver gets used for a lot of film
maybe-
locations for
No, maybe I'm getting it
quote-unquote
wrong. Yeah.
New York. Which
Yeah,
is why
Vancouver
there's
is
that
a common
Turkish
filming
words.
location. Now I'm doubting myself. Maybe it is Vancouver. I don't remember.
The movies are Vancouver. The
I
show
looked
might
it
be
up.
Toronto.
This is Toronto.
Yeah, the show.
Okay, it's Toronto.
Play JAJA Ding Dong.
But no,
And-
Vancouver is also a very common filming location. I don't. Yeah.
And like how in Lord of the Rings when they were filming the scenes on Caradhras, and it was actually just like cut up bits of I don't know what it was, but it was fake snow at any rate, and there were massive studio lights and people were like boiling in the quote unquote snow. No, this is actual snow, and it's literally below
Yeah.
freezing here.
Yeah. Here we are. Carl.
Carl, my
So-
man.
They filmed the RoboCop reboot in Toronto, and it's funny because like Toronto has subways. Detroit doesn't have subways.
Oh,
But like, they're on the street and you
Right.
can see like the entrance to a subway, and it's like, yeah, that's not real.
But they do
There was a
that all
lot
the
of
time.
speculation when this episode came out about who this guy was. A lot
Yeah.
of people did figure out it's the Guardian because of the newspaper. It has
Yeah.
a lot of references to the city on the edge of forever on it.
City on the edge of forever.
Carl.
I thought he was the member of the Q Continuum, but he's not.
Yeah, I think that those were the two main competing theories, either a Q or the Guardian.
I do love the jokes.
I love
It's
the use of the
sarcasm.
newspaper. It's almost like
He's a good doorway.
in the TNG episode when they're on the 18th century train, the 19th century train,
Oh,
The
God.
Orient Express.
the vertiform city, all that.
Yeah, vertiform
They've been on the
city.
wrong track the whole time.
And playing cards, smoking cigars.
One of the things I really, really like about Carl is he's a huge troll here, but later,
She's
when they actually
glitching
confront him,
out.
it's like, who are you, really? He just gets super intense and he actually looks pretty intimidating. Here, he's just a kindly old man making puns.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
I want a smart trash can.
Good soup at the First Street mission. Yes, very important.
Mhm.
Oh, he's got a pocket watch. Newspapers are so dead even in our era. Although, I'll tell you guys a secret. If once I get promoted to supervisor, I will get home delivery of the New York Times to my doorstep every day. But I'm just waiting to make some more money.
They arranged all the cast members in this scene from tallest to shortest.
Handy.
No. She's preggo.
Yes, Saru, very observant.
Yes.
How dare you be emotional about this? Every time Saru sees a Calbian literally anywhere, he freaks out.
He's not used to it.
His people are still, cold for food in his lifetime. Are we watching part 2 today, Ryan?
The prefix code.
No.
Prefix code. He vexes me.
Mm.
I'm terribly vexed. I am shocked they're making a Gladiator too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Are
the
they
story
really?
was wrapped up in the first
Yeah.
one. Yes.
With Pedro Pascal.
Huh?
Oh, so it's just gonna be the
He's
Viper
not the
versus
Gladiator,
the.
though. He's not the main guy.
Oh, he can't be. The main guy died.
No,
It could be
he's
a
not the
prequel,
main
I
character
guess.
of the second movie. Obviously, nobody in the second
Oh.
movie is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Could be a prequel.
Do you want to know what it's actually about? Because the trailer is extremely revealing. It's one of those where you've basically seen the whole movie.
Is it a Rick Berman trailer?
Is it his son?
No time, just let her go. Michael,
Yep.
you were specifically instructed to be willing to let her go.
Yes.
Okay. But as we know from the first episode of this series, her mistake cost her captain's life. So you can't let her go.
I mean, I maintain that Burnham was right there. It's just the other stuff was a bit of an issue.
This guy's funny with his gesture to go inside.
Carl is a nice jester.
The
Yeah.
Jester?
He's a mime.
All right, this is a good arc.
Yes. We go back to the mirror universe, and it works even better this time.
Are we allowed to do the salute?
All right, we're back. Back in the murder universe. That really feels like it should
What
be
do you
like the
mean,
very end, like
Empress
the last
Georgia?
shot, and then it cuts.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
got half the episode left. We're good.
I thought that was gonna be the cut.
It's Captain Killy.
Yep.
I don't know. I was just watching something about how Heath Ledger's Batman, Joker in Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. You know, we think he represents chaos because he tells Harvey, you know, I'm just doing chaos. I don't think this through. I'm like a dog chasing a truck. But
I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it.
But the thing is, though, he actually makes another point to Batman. He says that, look, all these people follow the rules and follow morality because they've had a nice life. And if they were evil, like if you took that away, they'd be as evil as anyone else. So I like how Georgiou's touched by our Michael Burnham, that she wants to reform the
Yes.
evil universe. Kind of cool.
Yes, now you have a second chance to do even more murder. Kill him now. Can they, though?
Sort of.
I'm so sad we don't get to see Lorca here.
Yeah.
I wish we got to see Prime Lorca.
What year was this series released?
2019. 2019.
Okay, a bit before Baldur's Gate 3 then. What was he doing that year, I wonder?
Wait, what? Was Gabriel Lorca in Baldur's Gate 3? What?
Yes, he's Dortash.
Oh, right. God. I've learned that factoid like 3 or 4 times, and every time I'm surprised. I can't
I
hear
know
it.
that
He
feeling.
doesn't sound like Jason Isaacs to me.
Hmm.
Are we gonna zap Michael Burnham into loving obedience again?
Yes.
I
She
can't.
tries, and we'll see next week what happens.
The beatings will continue until morale improves, or until her loyalty improves.
Has anyone watched the 8th episode of season 2 of Rings of Power?
Nope.
Yes,
No.
but don't get specific
No
on
spoilers.
anything.
No spoilers.
We're back to the party room.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Kayla? Does she have a full head of hair?
Yep.
Oh no, that's not Kayla. Never mind.
We're drinking Romulan ale for fun.
And they're using handheld agonizers for fun as well.
I'm so.
Oh, I
glad-
love
Right,
what
Klingon.
Mother of the Fatherland.
Hugh is wearing.
No, see, Kelly,
I
this
love
is
these
exactly
Latin
what we were
names.
talking about. That's an impractically not long name.
Mm.
Can we just call her Emperor Philippa? Emperor Giorgio?
That's the sort of name you use when you're introducing
Yeah.
someone, right?
Yes.
It's too much.
With the full
And-
No,
honors.
but dictators.
It's
need
not
to
the
have-
longest name in the history of empires and kings and things.
But
I
love the
am
Mike-
Ryan, creator of intakes, editor.
of outtakes.
Programmer of Game Jam games.
Archon
Cooker
of the
of
watch-along.
pasta.
Even the dots are evil.
307th of his name.
Good observation.
What's the highest BR you play, Soma?
6? Maybe 7?
6? Okay, never
I
mind.
haven't
I
played
love-
it in a while.
I love Michael's hair and her eye makeup. She's so Cleopatra'd out.
Did you murder them, Michael?
Yes.
Her earrings make her bad too.
No, not twice. Just blinded the artists and removed their hands.
Michael, that's just pointless. If you're gonna be evil, at least do it with purpose.
Yeah, if you could just like capture the artists and make them
Yeah.
make on
You know, like in Baldur's Gate 3.
have all their
Yeah.
future works to yourself.
Did you just curse in my Star Trek?
Is that the security officer?
Yeah, Lorca's
right.
right hand man. The one who was killed by the tardigrade bear.
Does look awfully tasty.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I thought the Baul would find them tasty. Apparently, everybody finds them tasty in this universe.
Oh my god, Michael, that's
Dude,
another
they're
just
like
pointless
literally
cruelty.
like cattle.
Michael, Yeah, exactly. They're like cattle. You don't just go and murder all the cattle because they're
Yeah.
useless.
Eh,
No,
You
well,
harvest
For
them.
me,
It's
they're
different.
more like they're more like calamari, but I don't mind.
No,
sucking on
they're
skin.
cattle.
their ganglia are very like tentacly.
That's uh
That
we don't farm calamari.
We do.
Not like we farm cattle.
Michael,
Besides,
of course,
cattle
saying that
is
Philippa
like a
betrayed the
generic
Empire.
term for a
Livestock.
farmed animal.
Man, we just abuse Kelpians here.
They should stop being so abusable.
What?
Now, this is interesting because Saru survives until we see him in season 1 in the Mirror Universe.
Yeah.
So, in the original version, Michael doesn't have him killed.
Maybe Michael herself forgives him later.
It's also possible that this same situation played out quite similarly, and she took him back.
She uncooked him.
Yes, she uncooked him.
She can't cook him
So-
because he needs a chance to cook.
You know, in the sequel to the Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter movies, there's a scene where he's like eating a brain out of someone who's still alive, and
He feeds the brain to that person while that person is alive. Yes.
but cannibalism is disgusting, and we go here.
This isn't
It's not
cannibalism,
cannibalism.
though.
It's not the same species.
Kelpians aren't humans.
They're kind of smart though, right? So we're not used to eating something that's smart.
Kind of. Cows are kind of smart. Pigs are kind
Yeah.
of smart.
Yeah.
How about that calamari?
Octopus are definitely smart.
Calamari.
And there's probably some dolphin and whale in your tuna fish because they get caught in the nets all the time.
Oh, that's a hoax. That's apocryphal myth. They don't grind it up with them. They might get caught in the nets and killed, but they don't grind it up into the tuna fish.
seems like that would be difficult.
Hmm?
Seems like that would be difficult.
Yeah.
See, don't discuss your evil plans around your servants. Come on.
Yep.
Or plans in general. I guess all their plans are evil plans in this universe.
Yeah. Dude, come on.
Like, you don't make dinner plans with somebody, you make dinner schemes.
Dinner schemes.
Why don't they bring back that thing we had in the TOS mirror, which is any room, anywhere, Kirk can zap you dead?
We also do learn a bit here because this did happen, as she said at the start. The coup happened. We know the coup happened from season 1, but she talked about it
Plus,
happening
if dolphin
this
tasted
day,
nice, someone would have set up a farm by now.
which means that she was already changing somewhat. She was already seeming weak to Burnham and Lorca.
Right.
Episode cut? No, we're still going.
No, we've got to have the coup start.
I mean, in a way, that's why. Like, I just wonder, like, any dictator
What's
who
the stuff
grew up in
happening?
the gangster thing, they kind of just grew up in that. Whoever's the most brutal and bloodthirsty gets to be king of the hill. I love the next season when we have the dark matter anomaly and Owo and Michael have to wrestle for the Latinum. And she has
Michael
so
and
much.
and
Oh.
Uwu.
Yeah, and she
Uwu?
has to. She has so much fight in her, even though she's like the shortest fighter in the ring.
Everyone's got black lipstick. Love it.
It looks pretty over, Reese.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still standing. She basically just got to
Only
beat him
'cause-
senseless.
Only because Michael
with no.
intervened.
She got to beat him senseless with no
Yeah, blood on her face.
reprisal. So it's like
It's over.
I mean, she didn't manage to kill him.
She was stopped from killing him. She was on her way to beating his face in. His face in.
So Mirror Stamets is a parrot.
This is really amazing because it's kind of reminiscent of the first episode where
Very
Giorgio and
demure, very
Michael-
mindful.
Giorgio and
don't do
Michael
that
fight to
here.
death on the Takuma ship. We got Cirque du Soleil going on. Emperor Picard never had this done for him.
There was no Emperor Picard.
General Picard.
Definitely not Emperor.
Remember, he was like in charge of the whole
Specific Picard.
Confederation. He was like
It was
Grand Admiral.
it was 7 of 9 that was the
President.
whatever.
She was
Was it
president of
president? I
Earth.
don't think it was president.
Yeah, she was president of Earth.
Wow, that's very expensive to put together for a play. Made a whole starship.
And it's powered by what? A sun in the middle of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice and
Yeah,
framed.
nice framing.
Yep.
The Emperor Louis the 14th was known as the Sun King because he built Versailles so all the nobles would live around him, and he was the sun around which all the royal favors flowed.
Stamets could you at least be subtle about it. So this is new to this timeline.
Yes.
Because original Stamets was just fine.
Yep.
Well, not fine.
I
He was
think
trapped in the
a lot of
mycelial
people-
network, but he wasn't stabbed in the throat.
Yeah.
A lot of people about to be removed from this timeline, as I recall.
So in the original, she must have just knocked him out or pushed him and gone into the agonizer or something like that. Brandon's like, shit, that failed. Don't I have to
Plan B.
do it myself?
Long live the Emperor!
Terra Firma. Does that xenophobe group at the end of Enterprise also say that?
Yes.
Their group is called Terra Prime.
I think. I do remember Terra Firma from outside Discovery.
Maybe I need to go rewatch Enterprise. Last couple episodes.
It had what's his name? in that Peter Weller.
RoboCop.
Yes, that was Peter Weller's most famous role.
How many knives is she gonna pull off?
Don't
We're up
forget
to
the boot
3.
knife. Don't forget the boot knife.
No, she forgot.
Yeah.
My
I'm pretty
boots
sure
have
that's
a
because
tiny
Obo
pocket
is
in
working
them,
with Michael, though.
and I have a tiny knife in the tiny pocket in my boots.
I mean, the same thing happened.
Yeah, so that's what ultimately caused Burnham to never choose to join her.
Right. The same thing happens in the original Mirror Mirror episode of TOS. It's like there's something wrong with you that you're not bombing the planet that's resisting Federation.
See, you should have a knife and a backup knife and a backup knife, just like you have a gun and a backup gun and a backup gun.
Starfleet in the Prime universe, all their tech has primary and secondary backups. In the Mirror universe, that's true for weapons.
No, Lorca loves you as a tool, just the same as Giorgio, the original Giorgio, does.
Sneeko, are
Wait,
you
you're saying
good?
she's
She needs to play some evil characters. She does it very well here.
Yeah.
she's tired of playing second fiddle. I don't know if you know what that feels like, but
I don't think that was a great evil performance right there.
Okay, but
It
keep in
was.
mind, this whole universe is hammy over the top.
Yeah.
yeah. And we're all like comic book evil, you know, not just like subtle evil. That's what the blue eyeshadow's about.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
If she did
She's
it, then
too
she would have
dangerous
been
to be left
fine.
alive. Do it.
Everything would have gone better had she have killed Michael here.
Also, that's clearly an elven longsword from Oblivion.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
You know,
Then hold up her head and show her headless body to her head.
the crazy thing is, like, if she didn't come from the whole Federation R timeline, she would have done it, but she's just like, you don't waste a human this valuable. You don't just put them on the chopping block. Honestly, I think each person is like that valuable. They can be such a great contribution, and it's a failure of our society that we can't give somebody a job where they'd be good at something until they can retire. Also, Burnham's a great character. You don't waste it just like that. So I'm going to say that too.
There's the episode cut. Okay. No, I don't want it next time on Discovery. Stop it.
No. But we get more snarling from
excessively long recaps, and then they spoil the next episode. Stop it.
Snarling.
All right. So that's Star Trek. Now everyone go watch Terra Prime, parts 1 and 2. They're good episodes. Let's see. What's next?
No. You don't tell me what to do.
We obviously have part 2, which is great.
And then we're going to meet the Kelpian child that screamed the universe apart.
Oh, we're back to the burn.
Oh, man.
It was a bit of a weak
crime against storytelling.
Sukal is a really, really good episode, except in the wider plot implications. The episode
Yeah.
itself as a standalone is really cool.
Yeah, it's fine,
Yeah.
but
Moopsie.
like, it was. They did the show dirty.
And then
They should've
third
just
episode is
not
going to be
solved the
Admiral
mystery for
Vance
this
informs
season.
Osira how replicators work, which really she should have
Oh,
already
yeah.
known.
Yeah.
That's a fun scene.
And also
Oh
we're
god,
going to
can we
meet
also have the elevators? The
wheelchair
lift
guy.
sequence?
Is the elevator? We
Bring
might
your,
be getting the
uh,
elevator fight. I think that might
Bring
be.
your Bring your reclaimed water next week.
Stupid elevator fight.
What's the name of the guy in the wheelchair who died?
Pike, Christopher Pike.
No, not
Professor
Pike.
X.
The
Stephen Hawking.
professor, the evil professor.
Charge. Oh, Xavier. No.
Okay, let me just share the screen so you can see who I'm actually talking about here. This guy.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I do
Dr.
remember something about him.
Moira.
That's I don't think that's correct.
He takes over the ship or something.
In any
Dr.
case, we're
Chillers.
going to meet him next week.
Yes. He
Whatever this dude's
factors
name is.
into stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, yep, we're done. Go away and go watch Enterprise. It's a good show.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It is a good